Hey, welcome back. This is Adventures with Dr. Joe. This is my new backhoe that I've got for my Kubota L6060. It is a BH92. It's a backhoe that Kubota has for certain L series and M series. It's very heavy duty. After you use it for a while, you should lubricate it, because even when parts were lubricated at the factory or at the dealer, they don't get through the whole area that needs to be lubricated, and quite honestly, certain ones can be forgotten. Guess how many grease fittings there are on this BH92? 10, 20, 25? There are 30. And guess what? 4 of them were never greased by the dealership before I got it. Let's take a look at, identify every one. Let's zoom in here. These are the ones that are most commonly forgotten. There's one here and one here. And there's also one here. This is for the sway, to move it back and forth. For the stabilizer bars, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one was never greased because it was put in opposite the way it should be. All grease fittings should be on one side and away from the direction of travel. Then you will forget them. So I just took this retaining ring off, flipped it, and so there are 4 for each. That makes 8 here. For the bottom mechanism, there's one in the midline here and one in the midline here. Also, one here and one here. Don't forget this one, because this is painted orange, but it is a great grease fitting, again, for the sway or the lateral movement. For the boom arm, there's some that are pretty high. 1, 2, 3, and here. 1, 2, 3, but don't forget, we've got the thumb here, and the thumb itself has multiple fittings. 1, 2, 3, and here is the 4th. This is the one on both sides that was forgotten at the dealership. So yes, this is for the thumb, one additional one on this side. All of these fittings are just from one side, but we can't forget that grease fitting here. There are 2 important fittings here and here, again for the swing arm to move back and forth. Again, we already talked about the 2 that are in the midline. And an important orange one here that greases this pivot point. And finally, 4 more for this stabilizer bar. 1 was never greased. We got to grease that. 2, 3, and 4. So if you add all those up, it equals 40. I had to count this multiple times because there were a couple that I missed. These here and here, you can't really see it, but those are the most easily missed. So be careful to get those when you've got a thumb. So there's a short video on the grease fittings for the BH92. There are 30 of them. So if you don't get up to 30, and that again considers that you've got a hydraulic thumb. If you don't have the hydraulic thumb, you got to take those fittings away. But overall 30, and they should be greased after you first use it, 10 hours or so, or even less, and then periodically, just to keep things in good condition. If this was helpful, please click thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Thank you.